Hi, I'm Kottaveiinflux, where every day is a journey into my mind. Gently, I welcome you to my imagination and the next season of my life. So this morning I woke up thinking about nurturing and also being nurtured and what that means. Everyone has a different version of what it means for space to be given, for them to be soft and gentle and cared for, and to also have the energy and the capacity to nurture and care for others. I have been mompreneur, aka single mom to my 5 sons, for over 15 years now. And I do believe I've raised some productive, kind, gentle spirit, amazing young boys into remarkable men that are definitely going to make a difference out in this world. It has been intentional and purposeful that I did that. In addition to that, as an educator, I believe I've done that for many of my students. And you may say, hey, what does this have to do with art? Just hold on one moment and I'm going to tell you. So as an art educator with over 20 years in the education sector, not including working at various art centers and doing private and independent classes, I've had to learn how to nurture my students into their own creativity alongside me nurturing myself and my own creativity and growing that in the process of gently nudging people to that deepest part of their creative selves. I always tell my students, whether they're adults or high school or even little bitty humans, that I do not teach creativity. I don't. I teach technique. I teach and encourage subject matter. I do all of these other things, but I absolutely do not teach creativity. I excavate it. It's always been there, and I just show you sometimes the way how to dig down deep in yourself and get to that creative, expressive part of themselves. So when you are doing that, there's a lot of nurturing. There's a lot of, I don't want to say coercing. That's not the word. There's a lot of gentle nudging people to be fearless and allow that deepest part of themselves to bubble up to the surface and just be. And it can be a challenge because oftentimes in this world, we're told, okay, that's not your priority. That's not the first thing, right? We're told it costs money to live. Choose a career that allows you to have money so you can live this life, so you can achieve this dream, so that you can get to this very specific destination. Well, creativity is not a destination. I'm going to say that again. It is not a destination. It is a constant and perpetual, and if you're fortunate, continuous journey home to yourself. Creativity and your art making, whether it's music or dance or theater or healing or writing, is not a destination. It is a kind, if you're lucky, gentle, nurturing, continual road and pathway back to your own self. And I know with me, I a lot of times think, okay, I need to make this, and well, I want to do this and I want to do that, and these are the colors that motivate me, and I will pivot midstream. I have so many abandoned projects, and it's okay that I do. I am an artist that will abandon something for 5 years, then circle back around and finish it. At some point, I do always finish, but it's not always in the moment or the week or the year that I start the project. It's not always the idea that I started a while back. Sometimes it may be years. I may start something and finish it in an hour, but I also may start something and finish it in 10 years or document an idea in my sketchbook and don't think it's good until 7 years later. I nurture myself in where I am at that creative moment, and I don't force. When I force myself to be creative or push a piece that's not ready, I always end up with something I don't love. And if I don't love it, I don't expect you to love it. I can't talk about it like it's love. And I want, like right now, I'm surrounded in this pink room by all this pink. I love it. If I don't love what I make or enjoy the process of making it, I typically don't put it out there. Sometimes I do because somebody else will love it, but there's a level of attachment that comes with that. So it's important that every bit of your artistic self, your creative self, that bubbling over is given the proper attention that it needs so that it can grow and manifest out here as it's supposed to. The other thing I also think is, I say it often, my creativity doesn't come from me. It comes through me. I'm the vessel that it chose. Like, really? I get that? Ooh, I'm so fortunate to make you come into fruition and come into being. I don't discount that. And in that same token, I nurture each piece of work. I lovingly talk sweetly to it and give it all the attention it needs to be all it can be. Right? So the same way we nurture people, children, adults, those we care about in our lives, we ought to give that same nurturing and attention to our craft, whatever your artistic endeavor is. On that same note, what you probably don't want to do, and I definitely had to learn this, is neglect nurturing your own self. For some people, nurturing requires, candles and the perfect environment and the perfect outfit and your hair and nails done and perfume and, being in a specific place or requiring specific things. And that's okay. Sometimes nurturing is crawling in bed with your sketchbook, a glass of wine, and Netflix. It is. So whatever that nurturing you need to get you to the next level of your craft, do that thing. Do that, right? Since I've been here, this artist residency in Finland, I realized that my ebb and flow of working is down day. Ooh, really productive, creative day, down day. Really creative, productive day, right? And by honoring that, by taking full days off just to walk, lay in bed, chillax, do nothing, daydream, eat well. When I wake up the next morning to produce, everything flows through so much easier. And it took me being here to realize that my nurturing, my ebb and flow is that every other day. It's not daily. I'm not productive daily. I've stopped writing in my journal and sketchbook daily. I do it when it bubbles up. I know there are a lot of artists who the only way to get to where you're going is daily practice. That's not everybody's flow. If it works for you, I applaud you because that's a wonderful thing to be able to have a daily practice. It's just not my practice. It's just not the way my creativity nurtures me. So I've learned to honor that and choose the level of nurturing and care that works for me. And even as a teacher, going in daily and teaching, I've watched students supersede where I am artistically. And I love that for them. But is it where I am? No, I have to take small bites, right, out of life to create. And I'm getting more and more time. So as I do that, I'm learning to be kind to myself, to be gentle to myself, to accept my flow of creativity and nurturing in between so that I can be my best and strongest creative self. If you've enjoyed this talk, I encourage you to please subscribe, share, please share. And I'm Kottaveiinflux, living my life with no ceiling, no floor, no walls, no box, just the world.